Hello and welcome to my Tarot Corner, and thank you to each and every one of you who decides to come back. Now today's intro is going to be longer than usual, and I am asking for your forgiveness in advance, and I will try and find a way to put a time stamp on the video, so those of you who do not like my rambling can jump to the video, to the reading, and not listen to everything that I have to say. But this is about quite a nefarious subject, and it's inspired by Nate the lawyer's latest video, and actually discussion that I just listened to on Twitter with Nate the lawyer and other creators, Steph the nerd and others, that discussed Bouzy and his nefarious deeds. And I don't know if you know, but Bouzy lately opened his own website that is called Spoutible, I think, which is supposed to be this black Twitter or something like that. And apparently, according to Nate the lawyer, which this is something that he showed in one of his latest lives and his latest video, Bouzy has been working with bots and for more than 10 years. Sorry. And he has been not chasing bots, but he was using bots for all sorts of utilizing bots for all sorts of things, mainly to push his own companies, his own, let's say his own projects. And what Nate the lawyer showed is how these bots were tweeting the same tweet at the same time, over and over again, and that is being going on for nearly 10 years. And then we know that Bouzy has been working for Meghan Markle, for Amber Heard, and for politicians, and probably not as someone who is going to hunt for bots that are trying to smear those people, but probably as the one who is using bots to let's say, how do you say that, to glorify them. And Nate the lawyer showed that if you check the tweets that were pro Meghan Markle in comparison to those that were against Meghan Markle, there were a lot more tweets that were pro Meghan Markle. So probably Bouzy was using or utilizing his bots to tweet tweets that were pro Meghan Markle. And I believe that on my community page I posted pictures of tweets that were recurring over and over again, with the same content, just different tweeters that were tweeting the same tweet over and over and over again regarding Meghan Markle, and of course it was a positive tweet about Meghan. Now, why am I saying that this is a long intro? Because I believe that, Yankee Wally was attacked, but she was attacked, in my opinion, after she went after Christopher Bouzy. Now, if you remember, Yankee Wally invited a lot of people to come over to her MeWe group called the Corned Beef Club, and I went on that group, and on the right on the beginning, many people were taken off that group with the excuse that they were moles, that they were insiders, that they were maybe moles for the Sussex squad. So there were quite a lot of pretty legit women that were thrown off that platform, and no matter how much they pleaded Wally to and tried to talk to her, she herself did not enter that MeWe group for a long time, and it was kind of left for this very small group of women that we were talking about things and trying to think about all sorts of things. And let's say, I will use a term that comes from medicine, the working diagnosis was that Wally was attacked because she was calling out Meghan for the fake pregnancies and for the moon bump. But something did not work out for me, because Wally was not the first or not the last YouTuber to talk about the moon bump or to talk about the fake pregnancies. Just in the past few weeks, Meghan Markle's videos were around the Meghan's moon bump and her fake pregnancies. Other YouTubers have been talking about the children and whether or not they even exist. And other YouTubers talked about the possible surrogacy. Even Pidina did. There was this thought that Pidina is not attacked because she's black, but Pidina is very much attached to the Markle family. So if someone should be attacked, it's Pidina. And then there was this saying that, for example, Lady C is not attacked because she's very connected, but then Lady C was attacked as well. So all of the theories just fell. And I noticed that Yankee Wally was really attacked after she went after Christopher Bouzy and his daughter. After she put out a video in which she showed Christopher Bouzy's daughter, and she showed her pictures in her line of work, and the fact that his daughter is not really in good terms with him, and she questioned his abilities as a father. And I believe that this is the reason why Wally is being attacked, and in the level that she has been attacked. Now, she's not the only person that has been silenced on YouTube. But to that account, I haven't seen anyone treated in that way. For example, there is this tarot reader called Daily Empress, and she has a lot of views that YouTube do not support, especially regarding world domination and the World Forum and the vaccines. Many of those views I do not support as well. But she is a tarot reader that I used to follow, and I really love her as a tarot reader. And she's been taken off YouTube over and over again, but she can open new YouTube accounts. It's only that she's been demonetized over and over again. So that is why she has a Patreon account, and ever since she has a Patreon account, I am supporting her on Patreon, because that is my way to support her. Since Wally has her Patreon account, I've been supporting her on both of her accounts, even though it's $8 a month, which is a lot of money for me. But I will go on supporting her on both of her accounts until I know which one is the one to support. And if Trevor Coates listens to my advice and opens a Patreon account, I will support him as well. I did donate to his PayPal when he asked for donations on January, and I will do that again on February. So I am supporting YouTubers that cannot get their revenues or cannot get any kind of free speech on YouTube. I am not supporting Patreon accounts of YouTubers who have 20,000 or 30,000 subscribers or even more than that, because what can I say? I am a disabled woman. I live on disability, and I can only work as a pediatrician 6 hours a week. So I am lucky enough that I was smart enough to do an insurance before I got sick, but still I live on disability. So I am doing my best to thrive with what I have, but the reason I got into tarot is because I was looking for something to do with my time, so I won't get crazy, because you can go crazy. So this reading is about Christopher Bouzy. This is a deep dive into Christopher Bouzy and his nefarious deeds, into his nefarious affairs, and what is he trying to achieve, what is going to happen to him, and his lawsuit with Nate the lawyer, and all of those things that he's trying to do. And apparently he has his own escort service. So let's see what is going on with Christopher Bouzy. So I'm using the Tarot V, which is a very dark tarot deck. It's all around vampires. The creator of this tarot, Alejandro Colucci, has created the Tarot V and the Tarot Z. The Tarot Z is the zombie tarot. So I don't have the zombie tarot because I don't feel that it's something that I'm connected to, but the vampire tarot is something that I feel more connected to. So before I start, please take a few moments to read my full disclaimer in the description box. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true, so please do your own research and decide for yourself. Okay, so let's clear the deck. Okay, so I can see that the advertising card is still here. So let's clear the deck again. Okay, so Christopher Bouzy, what is he trying to achieve? What kind of person is he? What is he trying to get? What will happen with his lawsuit with Nate the lawyer, with Jason Goodman? What is going to happen with all of his companies, both Sentinel, with the website spoutible that he has opened? Christopher Bouzy, his nefarious plans and the things that he's trying to achieve. What can we learn about Christopher Bouzy and his nefarious plans and the things that he's trying to achieve, the lawsuits that he's involved in, and what will happen with those? Okay, so let's cut the deck. The first card is the present situation, which shows us his current situation, the way that he feels right now, what he's doing right now. It's not exactly who he is, but more how he is feeling, or his current situation, his current plans. And what I'm getting here is the 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands is about speed, it's about velocity, and it's about feeling that you are in the right place and in the right time. Right now, Christopher Bouzy feels that he is on top of things. This is also about communication, and especially electronic communication, which goes very well with this website that he has opened. He is very much on top of things. That is how he feels. He feels that he is being successful. He feels that he is focusing on his goals. He feels that he is very much fulfilling the things that he wants. This is a very egotistical card. This is a tap on his ego. So right now he feels that he is being very he's on the right, in the right place. He's doing the right thing for himself. He is succeeding in his plans. That is how he feels right now. This is his present situation. He's not worried. Right now, he's not worried. What are the things that are blocking him? And the card that I'm getting is the 9 of Cups, which is very, very curious, because the 9 of Cups is a good card. This is a card of wishes coming true. But it's blocking him. And because it's blocking him, it's as if it came up like this. It's as if it came up reversed. So we need to look at the negative aspects of this card. And the negative aspect of this card are a person that doesn't know how to accept happiness, a person that doesn't know how to accept abundance. This is a person that needs to prove himself. This is a person that is restless and expects a success to come without any effort. This is a person that is over materialistic. Okay, now I'm going to look into the book of this tarot deck to look into more specific information that comes from the book of this from this book, to look into the reversed aspects of this card when it is in this. So when it comes in the reverse for this deck, it says, beware what you wish for. Your current pursuit may disappoint you. And I think that this is very much describes very well what Christopher Bouzy should be very much afraid of, because his current pursuit might get back at him, and he should be very much be careful. He needs to be careful of the things that he's wishing for. So this is about wishes coming true, but he needs to be very careful about those wishes that he thinks that are coming true, because he thinks that he's in the right place at the right time. And this card shows that not so much, that these wishes, that there is this sting there, and he's not aware of that. And he's restless. He's expecting that success to come without a lot of doing anything. He feels that he needs to prove himself to the world, to I don't know who else, to people that are looking at him, maybe the Sussex squad, maybe other people that are supporting him. So he feels that he needs to prove himself, but he needs to be very careful of his wishes, because they will come back to haunt him. Okay, so that is the second card. The third card is, what are his goals? What does he want to achieve? And what we're getting here is the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so the Four of Pentacles is a card of someone who is feeling threatened, someone who is adhering to the things that he has, to the things that he knows, because he feels threatened, and because of that he is adhering to the things that he has, so that he won't lose those things. And in this card we see this vampire that is taking or looking for a place to take blood from this young man. So she's threatening this man, and he's not taking care of himself. This is about a person that is not taking care of the threats, someone who's not checking the threats, but someone who is wrongly believing that he's being threatened. Because as you remember, in the Four of Pentacles, it's someone who the threats are not real. So he's conducting himself out of feeling threatened, and because of that he might end up in the Five of Pentacles, which is a card of being in self-destructive mode. So, but because we see that in his goals, his main goal is to protect what he has, is to protect himself, is to protect his empire, the empire that he's built. And I will link below Nate the lawyer's latest video, so you will see that his empire is not only bot sentinel, he has quite a lot of other companies, and he has quite a lot of other things that he has been doing. So he is feeling that he feels that he needs to protect everything that he has built, because it's all threatened by all of those lawsuits. He feels that he needs to protect, and his main goal is to protect the things that he feels that are being threatened, because as those lawyers are digging more and more into his past, and in the Twitter talk that I listened to, I heard how much people are looking into his past, into the things that he's been doing, and people are just being very, very investigative and looking into the things that he's been doing. It's amazing to listen to what people are coming up with. So people are coming up with a lot of information about him. They are coming up with a lot of things that he has been doing in the past. So he feels that he needs to protect all of that. So that's his main goal. Okay, the next card is his distant past. What can we learn about his distant past? Because that is his foundation. And in his distant past, we see the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords, that's the card of planning and strategy. And that fits very well with what we know about his past. Because in his distant past, he was strategizing. He built this empire of quite a lot of companies that he protected in all sorts of ways, and those companies were he wasn't recognized as the one who was owner of those companies. Some of those companies were actually companies that were escort services, companies of all sorts, all sorts of companies. So this was part of his strategy, and his strategy was to promote his companies by using bots. So for over 10 years, he was using a lot of bots to promote his companies, to promote his websites. He had not one website, he had quite a few websites that he was promoting using bots. So that was all part of his planning and strategizing. Now, the Seven of Swords is not necessarily a nefarious card. It does show planning and strategies, but sometimes it can be a nefarious card, because if you remember how it looks in the Rider-Waite card, the Rider-Waite card looks like the person has this conniving smile. So a lot of people see that as this concealment, as this person who acts cunningly and failing and maybe stealing. But this card has several faces. So I think that also Christopher Bouzy has all of those qualities. So he can be very much a strategizer, a planner, and those plans don't have to be kosher plans. So these plans can very much be plans of someone who wants to do things in a nefarious way. So that's in the distant past. And this goes very well with what we know about him. The next card is the recent past events. So what can we see in his recent past? And in the recent past, we get the, I think it's the, it's the, well, Knight of Pentacles. Yes, it's the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles, that is the hesitant knight. This is the knight that is looking for confirmation. So this is about money, and this is someone who is looking for confirmation all the time because he doesn't know for sure that what he's doing is the right thing. As you can see here, this young person is looking around, he's researching, he's right now looking for maybe for a trail for something. So this is a knight that is not sure that he is on the right track, and he's looking for a confirmation that he's on the right track, and because of that he misses opportunities. And this is exactly what happened to Christopher Bouzy lately. He has made mistakes, and because of his mistakes he ended up with lawsuits that are going to cost him a lot of money. So he's been looking for confirmation from Meghan, from other people that he worked for. He thought that maybe the fact that he was willing to come to Meghan and Harry's documentary and to appear there and to attest to the fact that they were being vilified on social media will help him in a way, but he's trying or is trying to find a way to get people to be on his side. But as people said today in the conversation that took place on Twitter, he will be the first person that they will throw to the wolves, and this is why we have wolves here. As you can see, there are so many wolves here. He will be the first one to be thrown to the wolves if when is not necessary any longer, and he knows that. He knows that nobody will be on his side if he loses those court cases. Nobody will support him if he is unsuccessful, if he is found guilty in any way. If something happens, he will be the first one to be thrown to the wolves by all of the people that he worked for. So he knows that, and because of that, he's looking for confirmation. He's looking for people that will support him. So this is his recent past. In his recent past, he is being the Knight of Pentacles, and he's worried. Okay, so what can we see for the future influence? What is the future influence that is coming into his life? And we see number 9, which is the Hermit. So it looks like the Hermit card is a card of a process. It is a process of a person that is in need to find some kind of a resolution, some kind of truth. And this is a major arcana. So it looks like Christopher Bouzy will have to go through a very difficult process. He will have to go and find the truth. And he will have to go through this 3 stages. Once those lawsuits will be resolved, he will have to want to find the truth. He will have to get this goal of finding the truth and be very patient. Go and be the hermit, find a secluded place, meditate, find a way of looking within, watching, searching the truth, being very alone, solitude, learning, studying, and only then he will be able to get out of that hermit energy. So that is a very hard, difficult process to go through. And this is something that is going to awaits Christopher Bouzy in the future, because he's going to go through that process, because probably this is something that he will have to go through as a result of those lawsuits, as a result of the truth about what he did in the past, as the truth about his plans in the past, about his strategies in the past will come out, because the truth about his plans that he's planning right now will come out, because the truth about how he's trying to protect the things that he's been doing will come out. And after all of that will come out, and after the things that, wait a minute, Rosie wants to come out. Okay, so she went out. So as I was saying, he needs to be very careful on what he wishes for, because if his wishes will come true, he will have to go through the hermit process. And the hermit process is not an easy process. But then, if he does go through that process and he really does find the truth about himself, about the way that he's been acting, and changes that, then he might be able to really get his wishes come true in a good way. Okay, next card is a card that describes Christopher Bouzy as a person. And what we're getting here is the Queen of Wands, sorry. Okay, so Christopher Bouzy is very much like his queen, which is Meghan Markle, the Queen of Wands. The egotistical queen, the one who cares about herself, about the people who are close to her, the one who cares mostly about her own personal responsibility, the ones who likes to perform in front of an audience, the one who is egotistical, the one who is, he wants to, the one who is a leader, and he is in a way a leader. So this is how he is. This is how he is as a person. He is this kind of a leader of this I don't know how to say that because it's too difficult for me to say, but this mesh of companies he has created. He is the leader of, or he's a very known person. He is someone who people listen to or people cite. And he's also a very egotistical person, someone who is thinking mostly about himself, and someone who would even think mostly about himself and not his own children, as we saw with his daughter. Someone who is likes to perform in front of other people, likes to be in television programs, so he likes to be in front of an audience. So this is who he is, and this is why he's getting along with Meghan so much, because they are two peas in a pod. They really are very similar, and that is why they are getting along so good. Okay, environmental factors, which is the people around him, the people that he worked for, or the people that work for him. How do they see him? And what we're getting here is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is actually a card that is not very easy, because the Five of Swords is a card that is talking about the need to be active. And this is a card that says that a person needs to start doing things and not wait for others to do the things for him. It's a card that speaks about getting off the fence, doing things and not waiting for others to do those things. And this is a card of a war in a way. So it looks like people see him as someone who is letting others do the war for him, someone who is doesn't like to do things by himself, someone who sits on the fence, because we get it when we get this card as what people see him as. People see him, it means that people see him in the negative aspect of this card. They see him as a person who's afraid to get hurt, a person who is isolating himself, not satisfied from the things that he has, a person that has a tendency to look for someone that will make the choices for him, someone who lets others decide for him. So this is how people see him. People don't see him as the one that takes the difficult decisions by himself. And it's not an easy thing, because as a leader, he would like to be seen as the one who takes the decisions, as the one who takes the reins, and the one who does the work, and the one who is taking command over things. And this card shows that people don't see him this way. People don't see him as a commander. People don't see him as someone who really does take command. So this is not an easy way. So it's like he sees himself as the leader, but people don't see him this way. So there is this dissonance in the way that he sees himself and the way that people see him. And it looks like he has a difficulty in communicating himself and in communicating the way that he sees himself to other people, to the people who work for him and the people that hire him. And that makes those people less, that they don't trust him so much. And maybe that is why he is looking for confirmation, because he's not getting that confirmation from people. Okay, next card is what are his inner emotions? And his inner emotions is the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is the aloof knight. So that is not a good card as well, because all knights are people that are losing opportunities. Knights are people with problems. Knights are people that are the lesser of all of the court cards. Even pages are better than knights. And the aloof knight is the knight that is not excited of anything. He's not excited. He's not enthusiastic. Nothing excites him. He keeps looking for things that will excite him. He keeps looking for things that will ignite him. And because nothing excites him, nothing ignites him, he's losing opportunities. And that's his inner emotions, and that is why he keeps on looking for new things. That is why he keeps on opening new things. That is why he keeps on jumping from one thing to another, because he keeps on looking for things that will be better. Because nothing ever works, because everything that he does never succeeds. So he's looking for more and more things. He's boasting on things that are succeeding, but in truth, things are not successful. When you look at Bot Sentinel, it's a scam. It's not true. And he's boasting on numbers that are not true. So he started new things. He started now this new spoutible website. He starts new things all the time, but he's never successful. Nothing really is successful with things that he's doing, because he never has the drive to keep on doing things, because he's never excited about anything. So that is a very difficult place to be in, and maybe that is the reason why he needs that to go through that hermit process in order to find out why he is never excited about anything. So the final outcome of Christopher Bouzy, and what we're getting here is the 7 of Wands. Okay, so not a very good outcome, because the 7 of Wands is a card that speaks about looking at focusing on the most important things and leaving the trivial things aside. So this is not a good card. This is a card that is telling Christopher Bouzy that he will have to start focusing on the important things, which goes very well with the Hermit card, because the Hermit card is also a card of someone who needs to start focusing on the important things, because he needs to start looking for the truth. He needs to start looking for the real things. And the 7 of Wands is a card of someone who needs to start putting aside all of the trivial things. That means that Christopher Bouzy will be called to start focusing on the most important things, which will be probably his lawsuits, and all of the other things will be set aside, because he won't have any energy, any time to dwell on those things. He will have to put all of his time, all of his energy on those things, because nothing else will matter, because those things will take all of his energy. Maybe other things will also be important enough to take some of his time, but he will have to focus on the most important things in his life. This is what this card is telling him. Now, the 7 of Wands is also a card that is showing us that he is going to be lost in details, and is going to be very forgetful. He's going to be lacking in focus. This is a card of someone who has difficulty in taking decision, has tendency to procrastinate, to look for excuses. So it doesn't look like a very good prospect for Christopher Bouzy. So altogether, let's see what we have here. We don't have, oh yes, we do have cups. So we have wands, swords, wands, pentacles, swords, wands, cups. But most of this reading is swords and wands. A lot of fire, a lot of air. One major arcana, and the court cards are knights and one queen and one cups. So it looks, and that the cup and the one cups is the blocking card. So it doesn't look like a lot of emotions, and it looks like there is a lot of fire here, a lot of fire and a lot of air energy. Well, that's what it is. So this is the tarot, and the oracle is the wisdom of the heart, house of night, and that is advice for the lawyers that are fighting Christopher Bouzy. So that's for Nate the lawyer, for Jason Goodman, for the people that are fighting Christopher Bouzy. I want to thank the subscriber who put the comment about Harold's name in the urban dictionary. I put it on my community tab. I read it and I was so appalled. I will never use Harold again. And I read the meaning of Willie and I was even more appalled. So, thank you. Okay, so let's clear the deck. Okay, advice for Nate the lawyer and Jason Goodman, who are fighting Christopher Bouzy. Advice for Nate the lawyer and Jason Goodman, who are fighting Christopher Bouzy. Let's see. Conclusion. Let's see what it means. So this is the time of endings and new beginnings. This indicates that you two have come to the end of some experience in your life and are about to enter a new one. So it looks like the Bouzy story is about to come to a conclusion. And I hope that it will be a good conclusion, but it means that both Jason Goodman's life and Nate the lawyer's life is going to come to an end of this chapter of Christopher Bouzy's, and to start a new beginning, which means that Christopher Bouzy will not be a part of their next chapter, and that can be only good news. Okay, so this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.